And welcome into the broadcast, the six-man football state championship, airing live on CHSAA.tv. I'm Ben Blecka alongside Kerry Sherman for a second year in a row. It's on CHSAA.tv here in Fleming. Third year in a row, the Wildcats have hosted the championship game. Coming in at 11-0, welcoming in the Eads Eagles at 10-1. And let's meet our starters for this contest, then we'll give you a quick preview as we will meet the Eads Eagles. And on their starters, we will meet their offensive end of things first. That will be for them at quarterback, Tyler Rouse. Their running backs, Blaine Winder and Corey Miller. Their ends, Jose Ramos and Kyle Crow. And their center is Logan Crawford. For the Eads Eagles on the defensive side of things, they will start at end, Taylor Weirick and Justin Lennox. At linebacker, Tyler Rouse, Corey Miller, Jose Ramos, and Blaine Winder are the starting lineup for the Eads Eagles on defense. For the Fleming Wildcats, let's meet their offense here. It'll be led by a bunch of seniors. Quarterback Tanner Serrato, their running backs Tyler Vandenbark and Trevor Chintala. Their ends are Brian Agnew and Caleb Knowles, and Kyle Langfelder is at center. The only non-senior of that bunch, junior Caleb Knowles. And then finally for defense, on the inside of things, Caleb Knowles will start at end along with Mitch Van Duren. Linebackers Kyle Langfelder, Tyler Vandenbark and Trevor Chintala, and Tanner Serrato will be safety. Head coach for the Fleming Wildcats will be the John King. He has been a mainstay here at Fleming for a number of years, took some time off there, came back, and this program has built massively underneath him. Head coach for the Eads Eagles, Dustin Euland. He's not an unknown name in six-man football either, Kerry.
No, he was a good one himself. He's built a nice little program down there at Eads too. So, very, very good coaches. Balanced teams. I'm just excited.
Very excited for this contest. The Fleming Wildcats will be in their home greens, black lids. The Eads Eagles will be in their road whites, purple pants, and purple and yellow lids. The Eagles will receive the kick, and I think this is a strategic play, Kerry. Very high-powered offenses for both of these teams. Wanted to see if the Eads Eagles could come out and score first. It may not be about who scores first, but if you can set the tone for this game, winning.
Yeah, they want to come out and say, hey, we know you're number one, but if we can jump on top of you, we can get our sideline fired up, and maybe we can see just if there's any chinks in your armor.
Dustin Price, one of the seniors on this Fleming roster, will be doing the kicking, and we'll get the six-man football championship underway. He puts the boot in it. It tails toward the end zone through the hands of Blaine Winder and out. So the Eads Eagles will have first and 15 on their opening field position here in this contest, and they'll step it onto the field. Eagles all step to the line of scrimmage with a three-man line. Rouse under center. He'll take the snap. He'll pitch it back, and running up the middle on the draw is Jose Ramos. Ramos wrapped up and pulled down after a gain of, call it 11 or 12 on the play.
Actually, that was Weirick.
That was Weirick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't have him on the starting lineup, and they're going to go no huddle here.
So it'll be 2nd and 3 for the Fleming Wildcats, or for the Eads Eagles, rather. Rouse under center. He'll take the snap. He will hand to Weirick on the far side, gets the first down, and pulled down after a gain of 8 on the play, and a Fleming, or an Eads Eagle first down on this very potent Fleming defense. They've been able to stop a lot of people.
Been bringing that wing in motion, or not in motion, but whamming inside to give that lead block. They're also setting up a reverse with him.
Quick pitch back to Weirick. He'll come onto the near side on 1st and 15, cutting up the near line. He's got free. He's inside the 30, inside the 20, throws a stiff arm, gets shoved out of bounds by Tyler Vandenbark at the 12-yard line. So on that play, he is able to gain 28 plus 3, 33 yards, and another first down. They'll be in the red zone with the Eads Eagles.
Again, going without the huddle. They've got their first series scripted. And Weirick with that right ankle heavily taped up. That might have been the reason they weren't sure about starting him on the offense.
Split backfield behind Rouse. He'll turn. He'll pitch to Weirick. Guy's not going to miss the state championship game. Cuts up the middle, slices far side, throws a stiff arm. Gets yanked down at the 3, gain of 9 on the play. It'll be 2nd and goal.
You know, I know they know that Fleming is the favorite, but there was absolutely no apprehension on their sideline. They were ready to come out and hit.
Be 2nd and goal. Split backfield again behind Rouse. He'll take the snap. He'll pitch to Weirick. Weirick stutter step, slides inside, reaches for the goal line, and is he in?
Looks like they're going to spot him just short.
He came down just short, a couple yards, so it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 1-foot line. And the Eads Eagles will have a 3rd crack. 6-man football. The man that fields the snap cannot get into the end zone, so they have to hand it off. They do, and barreling up the middle is Blaine Winder for the touchdown. And the Eads Eagles put it in on the conversion to take a 6-0 lead.
That may be the easiest I've seen anybody make it look in the last 2 years against Fleming.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. A 1-yard touchdown run by Blaine Winder. And on to attempt the PAT.
Ramos.
He'll put the kick up and through, and it is 8-0. And Jose Ramos makes it an Eads Eagle touchdown. Our coverage on CHSAA.tv is brought to you by College in Colorado, where higher education is the key to a student's future. From improved salaries to unique experiences and greater life choices, collegeincolorado.org can help your student create a lifelong plan and explore their dreams for the future. That's collegeincolorado.org. Nice drive right there for the Eads Eagles as they were able to punch it in. A 65-yard drive, and the drive featured 6 plays. So now the Eads Eagles will kick off, and Fleming's offense will look to answer.
When I had, when I had Eads against Stratton earlier this year, Ramos proved to be a big weapon here with his kickoffs. He put most of them well beyond the back line of the end zone. So if they can get some touchbacks today, that will be huge for their defense.
Ramos will go back and put the boot into it, and the kick is deep, and it's going to skip out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Check the flag. And
wow.
They'll probably make him kick it again.
That ball hit and took a 90-degree turn to the left.
They'll back him up to the 25 now to kick off on the illegal procedure. So Staley will go back to return the kick again. Joseph Staley, a freshman, getting to use his offensive ability, possibly this time. He will. He'll field it at the 4. The kick is brought up the middle, broken far side, and a great tackle for the Eads Eagles. Getting in there, that was Dylan Dixon, a freshman, getting an ankle. And Fleming will have their first possession of the game.
It was a good job of coverage by Eads. Everybody stayed in their lane, maintained that lane integrity, and Staley was able to get what he could.
It'll be 1st and 15 on the 24. Serrato goes under center. He'll pitch it back to Trevor Chintala. The 2,000-yard rusher breaks free, gets a block from Serrato, and fights forward for a gain of, call it 12. So both sides kicking the game off with essentially an off end for 12 yards.
On there, good job by Vandenbark getting a hold of the outside linebacker and Ramos and opening that lane for Chintala.
Serrato will go under center. Vandenbark wide to the near side. Low man behind Serrato is Chintala. Snap, break, faked the hand. Far side, Serrato with the throw, looking, and intended for Caleb Knowles. Incomplete. Great bit of defense for the Eads Eagles by Taylor Weirick to get that one blocked.
Yeah, he just waited for Knowles to put his arms up to try to make the play, and Weirick was there, and the pass was off the mark a little bit. But, Still good coverage.
Be third down and call it 3 for the Fleming Wildcats. Serrato goes under center, high backfield behind him, pitches it back to Chintala. Chintala breaking up the middle. He gets the first down, eludes the tackle, and breaks on the far side. He's going to take it to the house. 15-10, 5, eludes a dive, touchdown. Great penetration in the backfield by Blaine Winder there, and Trevor Chintala said, and he threw his stiff arm out there, and a 44-yard touchdown run leads to the Fleming Wildcats and an opportunity to even it.
Was just kind of chopping his legs there right around the first down sticks and was able to break that shirt tail tackle. And then there was nobody with a chance. Rouse had an angle but did not have the speed.
Dustin Price on to kick the PAT. He puts the boot into it, and the duck is up, and the duck is good. So with 7:18 to go here in the first quarter, the Fleming Wildcats answer back with a 3-play 40, 50, 6-yard touchdown run. Our coverage on CHSAA.tv is brought to you by... Now I have to get back to that message. That's brought to you by Bank of Colorado with personal service, personal loan officers, and people that are committed to your community. Bank of Colorado will bank with community ties. That's Bank of Colorado, member FDIC.
Senior Dustin Price having a fantastic year kicking the ball. He's it up to the Wildcats. Blaine Winder deep.
So the Fleming Wildcats will kick the ball off, and a high end over end will go into the end zone, and it will be a touchback, and the Eads Eagles will start at their own 15. 8 all is our tally here in the first quarter after a 44-yard Trevor Chintala touchdown run. The Eads Eagles scored first. I'm Ben Blecka alongside Kerry Sherman.
Both offenses out of the blocks early. We could be in for another 6-man track meet.
We definitely could. Rouse will go under center. And the pitch will go back on the near side. Spinning and getting knocked down in the backfield is Taylor Weirick. He gets dropped for a loss of 5 on the play.
Knowles with great penetration on there. Did not buy the count, that false step on the counter. Was ready to drill him.
So it'll be 2nd and 20. Up-tempo offense from Eads once again. Snap and the pitch will go back. Weirick will cut on the far side. He breaks free, gets wrapped up, pulled down. Was he down? They did not blow the whistle. That's a fumble. Serrato picks it up, and he's taking it back the other way. Serrato into the end zone. He goes for a touchdown. He had never been pulled down, had Weirick. He coughed the ball up, and the Eads Eagles coughed the ball up, and the Fleming Wildcats put it into the end zone.
Yeah, he was down on, or he never actually touched the ground. The defensive player was underneath of him, and the ball came out. He had 2 officials walk in to like they were going to spot it, but neither one of them blew the whistle.
So Trevor Chintala will put the kick in, and the kick is blocked on the Price attempt, and it's 14-8 in favor of the Fleming Wildcats. Our coverage is brought to you by Viera Wireless here on CHSAA.tv. Viera Wireless is there with great coverage. 4G is here and it's fast. Visit Viero.com for more information. Viaero.com. Interesting start to this game.
We can go to a tennis analogy. Fleming with the first break of serve.
Yes, they did. They got that fumble on the Eads Eagles and able to return it immediately for a touchdown on the Tanner Serrato return. So Dustin Price puts the boot into it. He'll kick it off into the end zone, and the Eads Eagles will start on their own 15 once again.
I watched him kicking in pregame drills, and he had a 50-yarder hit the crossbar. And he nailed one from 35 that was good by about 20 yards. So kid's showing a strong leg today.
So the Eads Eagles will come out first and 15. And under center once again will go Tyler Rouse. He'll give it off on the near side to Corey Miller. Miller throws a stiff arm, breaks free, gets run out of bounds after a gain of 14 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 1.
After he picks up about 13 yards. Nice run.
Good gain, and Eads stays no huddle.
2nd down and 2.
It's that play they were setting up in that first drive with the wingback diving in to lead things. And he was able to take it on the reverse on that one.
2nd and 1. Rouse will pitch it off on the near side to Blaine Winder. Winder gets the first down and a gain of a couple on the play. And it'll be 1st and 15 with the ball at their own 31-yard line.
Van Duren nearly blew that one up. Great penetration, but Ramos able to seal him at the last second to give Winder the lane to run through.
1st and 15. Rouse goes under center. Split backfield behind him. He'll hand off on the near side, and Blaine Winder is gobbled up and dropped. It'll be 2nd and call it 14 after a gain of a yard on the play. And Eads will huddle up for the first time in this contest. Rouse will go under center with one wide to the far side. He'll drop back, look to pass. Pressure in the backfield from Van Duren. Airing it out far side, and wide open down the far sideline is Blaine Winder. He gets pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line. A gain of 28 on the play, and a completed pass and a first down for the Eads Eagles.
Not sure what happened on the coverage there, but Winder was so open that he had a chance to make himself a sandwich, waiting for that pass to land in his hands.
Hurrying back up are the Eads Eagles. The pitch will go back to Winder on the far side. He breaks free, gets a block, and takes it into the end zone for a touchdown, a 21-yard touchdown run for the Eads Eagles with 5:07 to go here in the first quarter. Winder puts it into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the day. We're tied at 14, and Eads a chance to take the lead. Fun football. There's no doubt about that. Ramos on to kick, puts the ball down, the kick is up, and the kick is good.
Eagles take the lead, 16-14, 5:07 to go in the first quarter.
So the Eads Eagles will take the kick, and well, we've seen some exciting 6-man football action in this one so far, and we're glad to be bringing it to you on CHSAA.TV, home of all the championships that are being covered this year.
Today's students, participants are the leaders of tomorrow.
On that extra point, that was a great job by the holder, Miller. That snap was high and over his shoulder. He was able to catch it and get it down in time for Ramos to get that kick through. Every extra point is important in 6-man, and even more so than your other classifications.
So Ramos will come out and kick for the Eads Eagles. He'll put the boot into it. Short end over end will be fielded by Staley in the corner on his own 3. He slips and falls at the 9, and that's where Fleming will start their possession. Just the second offensive possession for Fleming because they returned a fumble for a touchdown.
For most teams, starting at your own 10 is not favorable, but with this offense, they'll just chug and churn like right
Far
there.
side, Chintala breaks free. He's going to take it to the house, got up the middle and broke off, and Trevor Chintala's into the end zone for the second time in this game, a 71-yard touchdown run.
3 steps and he turned on the Jets.
Woo! That was a nice little cut right there.
Call him Moses because that defense just parted like the Red Sea.
It definitely did. Good blocking on that line of scrimmage, and with 4:54 to go here in the first quarter, the Fleming Wildcats will try the 2-point kick.
By the time he got to the line, there wasn't anybody in front of him. They had kicked everybody out by that point in time.
Price on. His last one was blocked, and this one will be good. So 22-16 goes our tally in favor of the Fleming Wildcats. You look down for 1 second in a 6-man football game and everything changes. You don't want to look down on your insurance needs. That's why Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance has been proud to serve all of Colorado. They're there the day you buy your first car, the day your first child is born, and the day you file your first claim. They're there to make sure your insurance coverage keeps up with all the changes in your life. Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance. Get real coverage.
That's an easy drive summary to recap.
Yeah.
One play, 71 yards, touchdown.
Fleming Wildcats have run 4 plays, scored 2 touchdowns. Eads Eagles have controlled this one so far. They have run 12 plays, scored 2 touchdowns, but they fumbled the ball once, and that's the difference in the game right now as Dustin Price sets to kick off.
Squib.
Slow roller they're going to try and avoid, and it hits the returner, Winder. He will pick it up on the far side, and he'll get pulled down at his own 7-yard line, and that's where Eads will start. He was trying to get out of the way, let it roll into the end zone.
Yeah, the way that one come off the foot, it was going to take a number of funny bounces, and they got him. That's the perils of playing with a oblate spheroid.
Yes. This is not a volleyball or a basketball. So the Eads Eagles backed up in their own territory at their own 7 or 8 yard line, first and 15. Rouse will go under center. Ace backfield behind him, I believe. That is Weirick again.
Yes.
He'll take the snap and pitch it back to him. Weirick cutting up the middle. He coughs the ball up. The ball is scooped up by Serrato. That ball was forced on the fumble by Tyler Vandenbark, and Fleming gets the turnover.
Ball security. You cannot afford to cough it up in your own end in such a big game. We saw turnovers turn the game last year.
Yes, it did in the 6-man championship, and now the Fleming Wildcats will start with the ball on the Eads Eagle 14-yard line, up 22-16. Under center will go Serrato. Vandenbark split wide near side. Lone man behind Serrato, Trevor Chintala. Serrato going to drop back, look to pass. He rolls out to his right into the end zone, finding Vandenbark. Touchdown. Tyler Vandenbark, who forced the fumble, rightfully so, gets the touchdown reception. And a beautiful pass thrown by Tanner Serrato.
Rouse had coverage, but the last second he slipped and left Vandenbark wide open.
And on to try the PAT kick, Dustin Price. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So make it 30-16 now in favor of the Fleming Wildcats, the defending 6-man state champs. This was a halftime score, Kerry, because I had great respect for both of these defenses coming into this game. It just shows you how potent both of these offenses are. when I take a look at them and go, you know what? They put up 46 points, and we played 5 minutes and 23 seconds.
Oh, well, six-man is an offensive game, and you know, in your other classifications, you can gamble and have somebody else there to have your back on defense. You make one man miss in this game, and you could be off to the races.
And both these teams have been off to the races in this game. There's no way around that. We played 25 minutes of football, scored 46 points. Yeah. Kick will go from Dustin Price, sidewinder into the end zone, and the Eads Eagles will start with the ball on their own 15. Well, based on rhythm, they should score this drive. Score, fumble, score, fumble. One of the fumbles returned for a touchdown by Fleming. The other one, first play, thrown into the end zone for a touchdown. So 14 points off turnovers
and
so
on
far.
On that last fumble, if you're Eads, you're looking at it. If he gets away from Vandenberg,
he's gone.
Yeah, I think it was Shintala was the only man still there, and he was blocked.
Rouse gives it off up the near side to Blaine Winder. Winder gets wrapped up and dropped by Vandenberg. Gain of 9 on the play. And it will bring up second down and call it 6. 4:20 to go here in the first quarter. CHSAA.TV coverage of the six-man football championship. Tyler Rouse will go under center, split backfield behind him. Rouse takes the snap. He'll pitch it back to Winder again. Good wall on the far side, but breaking that wall up is Tyler Vandenberg. Now I'm going to tell you a story real quick, and it'll probably cover over a couple plays, but last year during basketball season, I was there when Tyler Vandenberg tore his ACL. Could not play during baseball season, tried to gut it out for part of basketball season, really didn't take a what I would consider real snap until about week 3 or 4 of this season, and you're seeing the impact this senior has on the game as handoff comes to Winder up the middle. He'll juke and drop in front of Serrato after a gain on the play of, call it, 13 and a first down.
Well, when I had them in the season opener against Stratton, I was shocked when they brought him in to play fullback, and when he came in, that changed everything for him. He started engaging on that linebacker and opening seams for Shintala, and he had a whale of a game then.
Counter handoff on the near side for the Eads Eagles as Corey Miller comes in, and the ball is out on the 1st and 15 carry just past midfield, and Trevor Shintala fell on top of it. Now the officials are going to get together and determine. They're going to say he was down before he coughed the ball up. So it'll be second down and call it 11 on a gain of 4. I was going to say, I thought I saw the official on the far side running across with his hand up, which signals he's blowing his whistle. These officials don't get the state championship game by fluke.
No,
they're the best in the state.
Yeah, you've got 3 of the best teams available. You've got the top 2 teams in the classification and one of the best team of officials.
So it'll be second and call it 11 or 12. I formation behind Rouse. He'll take the snap. He'll turn. He'll hand off on the delay to Winder. Winder cuts up, gets grabbed on the ankle by Shintala and pulled down after a gain of 5. And that'll bring up a third down for the Eads Eagles. They're 1 of 1 in third downs in this game. Staying with that no-huddle offense. High formation behind Rouse. Call it 3rd and 6. He will drop back and look to throw the pass, airing it out down the field, just out of the reach of Kyle Crow. Tanner Serrato there, but Serrato was beat. That shows you the athleticism of Crow right there.
Yeah, and it was great pressure by Vandenberg. Made Rouse move his feet in the pocket, and then Vandenberg planted him after the throw.
So it'll be 4th down and call it 7, and the Eads Eagles are going to huddle up. I think Ramos has a leg, but this good of a leg, we're talking a 52-yard field goal here.
I don't think we're going to see that.
Down 30-16 here in the first quarter. Now go for it on 4th down. Ball spotted up at the Fleming 33. Got to get down to the 26, dropping back. Rouse with pressure in the backfield and hammered down by Chintala. Got a hold of him and yanked him down and said, "This is my house," at midfield. Great sack.
And Rouse is lucky not to be seriously hurt on that play. He got pulled back. He could have popped out the right hip or an ankle, a knee, anything there. That leg kind of got trapped underneath of him as he was pulled back on the tackle.
So the Fleming Wildcats will start with the ball on the Eads Eagle 39 here on 1st and 15. 2:07 to go in the first quarter. Sponsor. Under center will go Serrato. Lone man behind him is Chintala. They'll fake the handoff and drop him back to pass is Serrato. Vandenbark open down the field. Finds Vandenbark. He gets inside the 15 down to the 13. Pulled down on a gain of 26 on the play, and another Fleming Wildcat first down.
And tight coverage by Rouse. Perfect pass from Serrato.
Both these teams, I mean, their defenses are incredible, and the offenses are just picking them apart right now.
And if you're Eads, your defense has to bow its back right now. You get down 3 scores, your chances of coming back are very slim.
Mitch Van Duren in as fullback. Pitch will go back to Chintala. Van Duren lays the block. Chintala gets down to the 10. That is a good stand-up right there by Kyle Crow, by Taylor Weirick, and by Jose Ramos, all getting on Chintala immediately.
You know, and it's not a knock on Van Duren, but you just see the little differences there between him at fullback and Vandenbark.
I formation on 2nd and goal. Once again, pitch back to Chintala. Chintala cutting free, and again, the defense there led by Justin Lennox, the senior end for Eads. Gain of a couple on the play. It'll be 3rd and goal.
And you could see it on that play where it was going away from us. Van Duren just tried to chip him with the shoulder, and he's able to slide off and get involved in the tackle, whereas Vandenbark engages and steers.
Vandenbark checks back in. They're, I believe, trying to fix the helmet of Tyler Vandenbark in the huddle. They'll have an I formation behind him. Serrato takes a snap. They'll hand off. Fake to Vandenbark. Ball squirts free from Serrato. He'll turn. He'll air it out into the end zone. Touchdown to Vandenbark. He handed it off to Vandenbark. It lost between him. Popped up. Serrato caught it. Turned around, and Vandenbark was wide open in the end zone for a touchdown. Man. Only in 6-man football.
Yeah.
Only in 6-man football. 36-16 the tally, and Price on, and puts the boot into it, and the kick is up, and the kick is good to make it 38-16 with 36 seconds to go here in the quarter. The first quarter, mind you, and that was the longest scoring drought we've had of the game. 3 minutes and 1 second between touchdowns. That's the longest scoring drought we've had this game. Are you having fun?
Just a little bit.
So am I. I have been sicker than a dog all week, and I am having a blast right now. I'm glad I made it out of bed this morning.
Starting to go back through the old memory bank to remember what the most points scored in a championship game is. I believe Idalia over Woodland about 12, 13 years ago. I'd have to look it up, but I remember Idalia scored an awful lot that day, and that could be in danger.
38-16. Price puts the boot into it, high end over in, going to careen into the end zone for a touchback, and the Eads Eagles will start with the ball on their own 15 once again, bringing up shades of another kicker for this Fleming Wildcat team that always put it out of the back of the end zone. See if the Eads Eagles can respond. That's the beautiful thing about this game, though, Kerry. Yeah, they're down 22. It's only 22.
Yeah, and
it's early in the game. We've seen how quickly points can be scored.
Yeah, you're one big play and a defensive stand away from being right back in this.
Eads Eagles have shown the ability to get some big plays. Haven't broken the huge ones yet. They'd like to get a good one right here. Tyler Rouse under center with 36 seconds to go in the first quarter. Delay handoff in the backfield to Winder. Winder gets forward for a gain of about 5 on the play. And Tyler Vandenbark with the tackle. That will bring up second down and call it 10, and they'll get one more playoff, barring an incomplete pass, here in the first quarter. Rouse under center, split backfield. He will take the snap. He'll turn. He'll pitch off onto the near side to Weirick. Weirick out onto the near side. Cuts back up on the far side, and he eludes Tanner Sabaro, and he's off to the races. Only Tyler Vandenbark can catch him. He's hobbling down the field. Both of them are hobbling, but he's going to take it into the end zone for a 60-yard touchdown as time expires in the first quarter.
Oh, goodness.
That is the big touchdown run that the Eads Eagles needed.
Now it's going to be up to the defense. Get that stop. If they haven't stopped Fleming yet, if they could get a stop early here in the second quarter, after this point after try, things get real interesting.
So on to kick will come Ramos. He had to change to his kicking shoe, and then we'll take a break at the end of the first quarter. Ramos puts the boot into it. The kick is up. The kick is good. So make it 38-24. We had 62 points scored in the first quarter. How about them apples? Back with the second quarter next here on CHSAA.tv. Back here at Fleming as we head to the second quarter on CHSAA.tv. I'm Ben Blecko alongside Kerry Sherman. 38-24 the tally in favor of the Fleming Wildcats. We had 62 points scored in the first quarter. Kerry, that means by way of math, we're going to have 228 points scored in this game.
Well, the highest combined total in a championship game. Looking back here, it looks like that 98 game, Idalia 81, Woodland 51. So 132, we're almost halfway there.
High end over end kick for Eads, and that will, to kick the second quarter off, be a touchdown, or a touchback rather. May as well be a touchdown the way we've scored them so far, as we have had 8 touchdowns scored in the first quarter, and Fleming will start with the ball on their own 15. Serrato will go under center. I formation behind him. Chintala, the deep back, will get the pitch. He'll break up the near side, and good penetration by Ramos in the backfield, stopping him for a gain of 5 on the play. Chintala, who has more than 2,000 yards on the year in that first quarter, had
a bunch.
132 yards, 2 touchdowns on 5 carries. Welcome to six-man football if you've never seen it before. I formation behind Serrato on 2nd and 10. He'll turn, he'll pitch back, counter for Chintala, far side, and great penetration in the backfield by Justin Lennox. Loss of a yard. That might be the first time all year Trevor Chintala has been held to a loss.
Yeah, he hasn't gone backwards very often this year.
So it'll be 3rd down and call it 11. Fleming, 2 for 2 on 3rd downs in this game. I formation. Pitch will go back to Chintala. Chintala gobbled up and dropped, and we may have our first stop of the ball game. Corey Miller with the tackle. Gain of a couple for Chintala on the play. Okay, we do.
Get the punt unit on the field.
I didn't think we'd say punt unit. Not the way that first quarter went. Are we talking a foreign language here?
Yeah.
Dustin Price is the punter. That's the guy that kicks the ball.
Most underused player in the game.
In this one, no doubt. Winder back to return for Eads. Low line drive, end over end. He'll hop at the 25 and be downed at the 20 by Chintala, and that's where Eads will start with the ball. First and 15 here in the second quarter. Let's get back to our sponsors and make it possible to bring this to you on CHSAA.tv. One of those sponsors is Adams State University. K-12 educators can meet licensing requirements and earn advanced degrees through Adams State University distance learning. Hundreds of professionals development courses are involved on the site and at a distance. For more information, visit exstudies.adams.edu.
Beautiful campus down there in Alamosa.
And I formation, Tyler Rouse will go under center. He'll take the snap, he'll turn, he'll pitch back, and the ball's coughed up in the backfield. And falling on top of it was Taylor Weirick, and he will lose a couple on the play on the fumble. He'll lose 5 on the play.
He had to go scrambling back for that. Jordan Karg was right in there. If he hadn't scooped it up on that second effort, it would have been the third fumble of the game.
They've lost the previous 2, both gone for touchdowns. Second and 20, Rouse under center. He'll take the snap, he'll turn back. Weirick will get it clean this time. Vandenbark in the backfield, and he goes nowhere. The third down and 20. Eads 1 of 2 on third downs in this game. 7:40 to go here in the first half. After scoring 62 points in the first quarter, we have scored none here in the second.
They got to catch their breath.
We all do, I think.
Well, it's about 40 degrees warmer in this press box than it was last year.
Yes, it is. And about 50 than 2 years ago. I formation, 1 wide to the near side for Rouse. He'll drop back on 3rd and 20, look to pass. Down the field, he airs it out for Crow. Crow makes the catch, eludes 1, and he's got 1 man to beat. It's Serrato. He throws a stiff arm. Serrato knocks the ball free, and it goes out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
Whoa. And they went cover 5. Only 1 man on the rush, and they dropped 5 into zone. And perfect on the money to Crow.
48-yard pass and a first down.
Fleming has to have seen something on game film with the way Eads carries the ball. They're always chopping and reaching at that football, digging.
Pitch back to Winder on first and goal. He gets pushed at the 10-yard line, a gain of 2 on the play.
Too much extracurricular, that last shove. That's going to get Van Duren a flag.
There's emotion. There's no doubt about it, but you've got to rein your emotion in. So they're going to give him a gain of 2, and then the first Wildcat penalty will be half the distance to the goal. It'll just be a 5-yard, but it was a personal foul, unsportsmanlike. So first and goal from the 5 now for the Eads Eagles, trying to put it in and score first here in the second. 6:51 to go.
It'll stay second down because it was after the play.
That's why I have a football coach as my color commentator. Split backfield behind Rouse. He'll take the snap. He will hand off on the far side to Winder. Winder inside the 2. He gets pulled down after a gain of 3, and it'll be 3rd and goal. We now have our longest stretch between touchdowns in this game. 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Rouse trying to end that right here. 3rd and goal from the 2. He'll take the snap. He'll pitch back on the near side, breaking up the middle and barreling into the end zone for a touchdown is Corey Miller. He was across the goal line. He was across the goal line before he scored. He was across the goal line before the ball came loose. All you have to do is cross it. You don't got to hang on to it after you come across. You just got to reach it out, and he gets the touchdown.
That was great patience. We've seen that out of all of the Eads running backs today. They'll kind of slow play it in the backfield, let their block set up, and then find that seam.
So put another touchdown in the books for the Eads Eagles, another 3rd down conversion, and they will bring Ramos on to kick. was Miller, so he gets his first touchdown of the day. The previous couple for the Eads Eagles on the ground, a gun to Winder. Ramos on with the kick. It's up. It is good. So make this a one-possession game once again, 38-30. We go here. And Eads scores back-to-back, essentially negating that fumble return. But we have another fumble in there that still needs to be negated if you're the Eads Eagles to get us back on par again.
You know, and they've done just what we said they needed to do late there in the first quarter. Got the big play, got a defensive stop, punched one more in, and they're more than back in at this, 6 points down with 6 minutes to play in the half.
Just got a text from Kevin Schaefer, our friend at Colorado Preps Radio Network. Does this remind you of another championship game you and I have done within the last 6 months, 8 months?
Indoors.
Indoors in Loveland?
Yeah.
I was in just about as much pain then as I am now.
Yeah, it kind of has a definite
1A state
basketball feel to it.
It definitely does. There's no doubt about that.
Fast break football.
Maybe we just should not broadcast together. I don't know. I'm having fun, though. Low line drive kick. Staley's going to try and catch it, and he does at the goal line. Keeps it in play and cuts up the near side. No.
Touchback.
He caught the ball. It came out of his hands. It then skipped into the end zone, and as he was picking it up, he stepped on the goal line, which means
I think
touchback.
When the ball hit, it may have just clipped the front edge of the goal line, but it took the head referee a little bit to figure out, okay, did I see what I think I saw? Once he realized it, he blew it dead right then.
So the Fleming Wildcats will start with the ball. Fake handoff. Serrato tossing it down the field, looking for Chintala on 1st and 15. Pass falls incomplete. That will bring up a 2nd down and 15. Serrato 3 for 5. 49 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air.
Something's wrong with him. That's one more incompletion than he threw last year in the championship game.
38-32. And I formation for the Wildcats. Handoff up the middle will go to Vandenbark. He gets out to the 20, falls forward to the 21, gain of 6 on the play. That is the first player not named Chintala to carry the ball in the championship game for the Fleming Wildcats.
You know, when I was here earlier in the year for Fleming's game with Otis, they stayed with the outside game, the ISOs for Chintala until the second half, and then they started hitting the fullback on that belly series, and it went huge all second half. So they may be kind of setting that up.
Quick pitch back to Chintala, handoff far side to Serrato. He tucks and runs, looking for the first down. He stepped out of bounds. Where did he step out? The official says 2 yards short. Now, for our fans watching on CHSAA.TV that may have never seen 6-man football before, the guy that that fields the snap cannot cross the line of scrimmage until somebody else touches the ball. That's why the pitch to Chintala and the shovel back to Serrato.
Yeah, it has to be a clear exchange. For a long time there, it actually had to be an open pitch. You know, you could not just hand it off.
So the Fleming Wildcats will punt for the second time in this game. And back to do that punting is Dustin Price. Price will put the boot into it. Nobody back to return for the Eads Eagles. Chintala going to let it roll, and it goes out at the 2-yard line. That's where the Eads Eagles will start with their possession. With 5:04 to go here in the first half, 38-32, Fleming on top of Eads. We saw 62 points in the first quarter. We've seen 8 here in the second.
Yeah.
78 yards of green in front of the Eads Eagles.
Just when we get started talking about history.
And the Eads Eagles will settle in and see what they can work with here. Had a 60-yard touchdown run to end the first quarter. Handoff up the middle. One man hit a second man and finally brought down as Winder after a gain of maybe a yard where they give him that spot. So it'll be second down. And call it 14 with 4:40 to go here in the first half. Fleming will field the ball out of the locker room. We'll talk about that more in our halftime show as well. Eads would like to go in tighter with the lead with that in mind.
And when you get close to a defender, you're going to see two arms on the football here.
Krause will go under center. He'll pitch it back and in the end zone, and getting out of the end zone is Blaine Winder. Somehow he got out. He'll lose 2 yards on the play, but the impressiveness of that play is the fact that he got out of the end zone as fast as that defense got
He
on.
took the pitch 7 yards deep. That's, I mean, when you've got to get 7 yards just to get, to save 2 points.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Well, and that 2 points is the difference between being able to take the lead on a PAT kick and just having to tie the game. It'll be third down and call it 15. I formation behind Rouse. He'll take the snap. He'll fake the pitch. He's going to roll out and look to pass. Airing it out, finds Kyle Crow, who makes the catch and gets drilled. Great athleticism. One place he could put that ball, one place he could catch it. Did both perfectly.
Yeah, like I said, I watched him against Stratton. It was a windy day. He was pretty impressive there. But this is a sophomore.
Yeah, and
he's putting it where it has to be.
When it counts, 4 of 5 on third down conversions for Eads right now. 3:25 to go here in the first half. First and 15. Rouse will go under center. Hard count by Rouse. He'll pitch it back to Winder. Winder going to cut on the far side, met by the defense and swallowed up after no gain.
Even if they don't move the ball any farther down the field, that first down conversion is huge just from the field position standpoint.
Well, you still have all 3 of your timeouts, 3 minutes and counting left on the clock here in the first half, and you can work yourself into an opportunity where you can march yourself down the field, take some time, run some different plays, and possibly put it in and take the lead to the locker room. Under center will go Rouse. He'll drop back end around on the near side. It will come to Corey Miller. There's a hanky down. Miller gets thrown down by Serrato, but I think this
we're going to get one
back
at the end, too. Backfield, the back was moving towards the line at the snap, but I think we're going to get a face mask here at the end of it, so we're going to offset those.
They'll redo it on 2nd and 14. Illegal shift with the moving back and then a face mask offsetting, so we'll redo 2nd and 14 with 2:33 to go here in the first half.
A couple of times earlier in this half, it looked like the back was moving just a half count early. They didn't catch him. They got him there. And now officials need to have a conference here.
Well, because one happened after the play. So are they truly offsetting, I think might be the question.
In the 1A semifinals, at halftime, top-seeded Buena Vista, 6-0 over Ray. That's a team that's averaging about 58 points a game, I believe.
Wow. That's a good defensive battle. This one's a great offensive battle as the officials...
they called it offensive face mask.
They're going to decline the offensive face mask and accept the illegal shift, which will then back it up. The officials had to get back together and determine who had the face mask.
Yeah, because the face mask would have gone from the end of the run.
Instead of being, call it, 3rd down and 8, they'll take 2nd and 20 will the Fleming Wildcats. So the ball be spotted up at their own 15 for the Eads Eagles. They huddled. They came to the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to huddle again because the officials trying to figure out everything being right here in this championship game. That's what good officials do. Get it right. Ace backfield behind Rouse. He'll take the snap. He'll fake the handoff, rolling out to pass. Looking for Crow again down the field. Pass.
Oh, my
by Crow. He got up
my
over
goodness.
Serrato. The ball went through Serrato's hands, and Crow one-handed it for the 23-yard reception in the first down.
You cannot defend it any better than Serrato did. Holy
Wow.
cow. Wow.
It'll be a 1st and 15, third reception for Kyle Crow. He's over 100 yards receiving. Still 2:20 to go here in the first half, and all 3 timeouts for Eads, 38-32. Rouse will go under center, split backfield behind him. He'll drop, he'll hand off on the near side. Cutting up the near side is Winder. Winder has a stiff arm throw and gets the first down before he gets pulled down by Serrato and Langfelder, a gain of 15.
I'm still shaking my head at that catch.
Watch it back. CHSAA.TV. Holy cow. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Eads trying to take the lead and negate their 2 early turnovers in this one. Split backfield behind Rouse. 1st and 15, hard count. He'll turn, he'll pitch back to Winder again. Winder cutting up the middle. He gets gobbled up and dropped by Vandenbark and getting help from Saxon McKean, I believe. That can't be right.
34?
Yeah, it is. Yep,
Yeah.
Saxon. And getting the tackle, gain of 3.
And got to comment on the offensive line for Eads. They've held their water. They have gone hard count several times, and they have not flinched. Now I probably put the hex on them.
90 seconds to go in the first half. Handoff on the near side, and barreling forward is Corey Miller. Miller trying to get to the sideline, cannot. You've got to use your timeout here.
Now you get the clock should stop on the first down. Should stop.
Eventually.
It has not. Still has not.
They'll move the chains. 1:12, it finally will stop, and they'll get it wound. They'll go back to the line of scrimmage, 1st and goal from the 9. Rouse under center. He'll drop back. The lay handoff on the far side, breaking to the pylon, and in goes Blaine Winder for a touchdown, and we're tied at 38.
Blaine Winder ties the game, 38-38, 58 seconds to go in the half.
What a fun first half. I can't wait to see what the second brings, and Eads going to try and take the lead with the PAT kick, which they've not missed today.
Even though I said it was possible, I'm still struggling to believe that they've actually come out of, dug themselves out of that hole.
2 turnovers. They forced 2 Fleming punts and scored off of both of those punts. Hard jump for Fleming. They will, I would assume, decline that penalty because what's 3 feet on a PAT kick when you have a kicker like Ramos?
Well, they're going to go ahead and take it.
They'll take it and still go for the kick.
Miller got away with a good, hard shoulder shrug there, calling for that fake snap.
Kick is up. Kick is good. So Eads takes the lead 40-38 on a 9-yard touchdown run from Winder. And our coverage on CHSAA.TV is being presented to you in part by, where did I last leave off? College in Colorado. Explore your career options from sports broadcasting to electrician and nurse. Take a virtual campus tour of a college and find financial aid at collegeincolorado.org. That's collegeincolorado.org. Here at 58 seconds to go in this first half. Fleming has all 3 timeouts and receives the ball out of the locker room. So the Fleming Wildcats march it down the field, score, march it down the field, score. This game's right back into their control.
Yeah, and even if they don't have to get into the end zone here to have a scoring opportunity with the way Price has been kicking the ball today. You get it to
the 20.
Probably the 20, the 25.
You kick the field goal, you go into the locker room up to 42-40 as field goals are worth 4.
Yeah, slight breeze into the face, almost cross breeze here for Fleming. So with the 3 timeouts and Shintala in the backfield.
A lot of options here. Heck, Eads could score again before intermission. Short kick, far side, going to go out of bounds, and we'll have a Hankey go down, and we'll back him up 5 and do it again. Or you can take the ball at the spot.
Or the 25.
They'll make him re-kick. When you have a returner like Staley, you've seen him this year, I've seen him this year. Guy, I mean, he may just be a freshman. He's got some wheels.
Well, and you make him run back down the field again. Oh, goodness. At the 8-man semifinals, halftime, Grenada over Fowler. Let me get my 13-8. That's the 16 seed looking to get into the state championship. And late in the second, Walsh, I believe, leads Honey 21-18.
Good games in the smaller classifications there. Kick deep, and Staley will field it at his own 6. Just under a minute to go. Staley cuts up onto the near side. He's going to get ridden out of bounds at the 34. Great hit delivered by Corey Miller, but a great return by the freshman, and Fleming has a shorter field to work with heading down the field.
That was Ramos who brought the hammer.
So the Fleming Wildcats will come out first and 15 with 52 seconds to go here in the first half. 40-38, Eads, the 3 seed, leading Fleming the 1. Serrato will take the snap. He'll drop. He'll pitch it back to Chintala, running short side of the field. Tries to cut up the field. Gets near midfield. Gain of 5 on the play. We'll bring up second down, and Fleming is going to take a timeout. You have all 3 left. Why the heck not?
Yeah, you can't take them with you. Might as well burn them now. The other 1A semifinal with 1:30 to play in the second quarter, Cedar Ridge over Hotchkiss 8-6. So in your 2 1A semifinals, you have a total of 20 points.
And in this one, we have a total of 78. I think we got the best assignment of the weekend.
We did.
Didn't we?
Oh, we definitely did.
We definitely did. And this has been a fun one so far. At halftime, we'll discuss some of the stats. I've been trying to keep the best stats I can in this track meet. I might have to switch to a new pen here soon. But we'll run that down, and we'll talk a little strategy because, as I mentioned before, Kerry Sherman, former player, former coach, you know a little bit about this game.
Well, a little.
A little.
I don't want to...
We're going to strategize. Yeah. You get to wear the headset now. You don't have to be right.
Good.
You just have to fill airtime. You just have to fill airtime. That's all we got to do. 41 seconds to go in the half. Fleming Wildcats will have a 2nd and 10 right near midfield. Backfield behind Serrano. He'll go under center. He'll take the snap. He'll pitch it back to Chintala. Chintala cutting up the middle, back on the near side, and he's off to the races. 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
Left Trevor Chintala clock, though.
Put it in from 40 yards out. Trevor Chintala has put it in now from 44, 71, and 40. And Fleming takes the lead back 44-40, but as you said, Kerry, maybe too much time on the clock.
Yeah, 32 seconds and 2 timeouts, or do they still have 3?
They have all 3.
That's an eternity.
This is an eternity in 6-man football. As Price will go for the 2-point kick, he puts the boot in, up, good. 46-40.
46-40, 32 seconds to go in the half.
And the Fleming Wildcats will kick the ball back off to the Eads Eagles. If I'm Eads, immediately, and mind you, I am not a 6-man football aficionado. This is about the only football I can watch because it's a little more up-tempo than some of the other. But I would go to Crow right away. I would run a play action